friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots.
Sometimes I feel like I'm just stalling out, like I'm falling out. Ever since a youngin', I had dreams that I'd be balling out. So listen when I call it out, manifesting all my dreams. I'm manifesting all my dreams. Sometimes I feel like I'm just stalling out, like I'm falling out. Ever since a youngin', I had dreams that I'd be balling out. So listen when I call it out, manifesting all my dreams. I'm manifesting all my dreams.
We talk more about events and sponsors at the very end of the episode. Real quick, we always talk about somebody up front before we get started. I want to highlight Body Machine Fitness this week. They're located at 2300 West 7th Street. It's over in the Left Bank Shopping Center across from Buffalo Wild Wings and some other excellent shops, Crumble Cookie and Snooze, that badass breakfast place, just right there across the street from Trinity Park. We have an excellent episode for you today. We have a representative of the Fort Worth hip hop community, and this doesn't happen very often. And I'm going to go ahead and call you guys out. Fort Worth R&B, hip hop, rap, whatever you're calling yourself. You're an underrepresented portion of the Fort Worth creative community, and we'd like you on the show. Not too long ago, we had an artist on the show, and they were talking about the odd behavior with hip-hop artists and how they're not really good at promoting their brand. And I didn't know what they were talking about until I started reaching out to the hip-hop community and trying to get them on the show. I'm not calling out anybody specifically, but Fort Worth Roots Podcast is here for you. And I don't like that we don't have many of you inside of our catalog. We do talk a lot about that inside this episode. And we do drop a few names, hip-hop artists in the community that we'd like to have on the show. And if we don't mention you specifically during this recording, I am thinking about you. So hit me up. media@fortworthroots.com is our email. And you can also DM me on Instagram or Facebook or the old TikTok. This past weekend, we had an extremely awesome, wonderful, badass turnout out at Pouring Glory for a little networking event that the Fort Worth Roots podcast put on. We also had the Fort Worth Humane Society out there with doggos for adoption. It was a great event, and we had some really awesome people show their support, come out, do some recordings. Some people didn't record with us. They just came out to be there and support the community. And you'll hear me talk about this a lot on the show, but in Fort Worth, the creative community, and when I say that, I'm talking about our musicians, our comedians, our authors, or anybody that's inside the community that's creating something. Fort Worth is a little bit exceptional in the fact that we're very collaborative. We're very supportive. You'll hear me say it a lot on the show. Rising tide lifts all ships. And I feel like Fort Worth really embodies that. And I just want to say thank you to every single one of you that came out this weekend to show support. We didn't put any money into advertising. We really did a very minimalist job. I did that intentionally just to see how many people we could get to come out to this show. And a lot of you turned out. And I appreciate that so much. Thank you. And if you didn't make it, it's... I'm not talking crap here. You had stuff going on. That's okay. Not everybody can make it. We will have more events in the future. And I understand everybody's busy. We've all got stuff going on. I cannot make all the events and everything that goes on here in Fort Worth. And I hate it because there's so many things that happen inside of our Fort Worth community. A lot of you guys are my friends that are putting on stuff every weekend. There might be 8, 9, 10, 12 different things going on. And I wish I could make it to every single one of them, but I can't. But I would encourage you, if you're a creator or not, to do your best to get out to these shows. Show your support. Do what you can. Because at the end of the day, that's what keeps us moving forward. If people stop showing up to these events, we got to stop doing them. So if you haven't checked out a live event in the last couple of months, I want you to try to work that into your schedule. There's great venues all over town. Of course, you know my sponsors. But outside of that, there's, 100 different awesome places. One of them is right next door to your house, I promise. And you can see an amazing lineup for $10 or free. Great people, good atmosphere. And whenever you do something like that, you help ensure that we can keep this creative community here in Fort Worth going. So if you're ever looking for something to do, There's lots of different avenues that you can go to or through or whatever to find stuff that's going on in your area here in Fort Worth specifically. We try to do a pretty good job. I'm trying to post stuff on Fort Worth Roots, and some of these people haven't even been on the show. I just want you to get out of the house. So if I see something exceptional, somebody put some really decent effort behind promoting their event, I'll grab that and I'll put it up on the Fort Worth Roots podcast social media pages. So we try. And if you are a musician or any other type of creator inside Fort Worth and you want help getting your word, your message, promoting your event, let me know and let me see what I can do to help. The next Fort Worth Roots podcast event that we got coming up is going to be in September. I think it's the last week of September. I have not ironed out the date, but it's probably going to be the last Saturday of September. So if you would, tentatively put that on your schedule, your calendar. We're going to have vendors, live music, and all the fun stuff that we did at the last September event. And we're going to throw a few more curveballs at you, see if we can't really make this an exceptional event. And this is going to be the starting point for the 2024 music series, which you may have heard me talk about in previous episodes. We are going to take a different band at a different venue every month, starting tentatively in February and moving all the way to September. And every single one of the artists that participates in this music series, this citywide music series, is going to play on one stage in September at our final event. So something to look forward to. That kicks off this September here in 2023, where we'll have all the details ironed out, hopefully by then. Surely there will be more to come afterwards, but we'll keep you apprised of any additional details. If you haven't already followed us on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, do that. Come check it out. You're on the toilet, letting your legs fall asleep while you scroll through these things. Throw us in the mix. Let us be there with you in your most sensitive time. And we'll try our best to keep you up to date with everything that we come across that's happening inside the city of Fort Worth. All right, that's enough talking out of me. Please give it up for our very talented friend, Octavio, and his friend, and now our friend, Gionna Scott. Thank y'all for being here, and let's start the show. Hopefully, we don't sweat to death in here.
No.
All right,
I'm
cool.
actually comfortable. I was scared it was going to be cold.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it would have been if I could have got it any colder. I'm always worried it's going to be too hot in here because, like, last August, this place was almost unusable.
Right.
Because it got so hot. So this year, I'm going to seal up every part of the ceiling that I can because I think a lot of hot air was getting through that.
Yeah.
And we need another AC unit, so...
Yeah, that shit ain't cheap, man.
No, it's not. So I'm looking at these split units because they're super easy to install.
Yeah.
And I think you can get them for like $4,000, but I mean that's still
some money.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez, if that's cheap, then.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, so say everybody's name for the recording, so I don't ever mess it up.
Okay, I'm Gionna.
Gionna.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you with, Gionna?
Am I supposed to say Wavy Digital? Okay, I'm Gionna with Wavy Digital.
Yeah, for sure. We're here to shout things out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Octavio, artist formerly known as Tavo the Trill.
Right. Are you still using this Instagram?
I am.
Okay.
I am.
Cool.
I'm having a hard time transitioning. I'm trying to figure it out. I have what is it? 2,800 followers, and I know that's not a whole lot, but they're all organic. And
no, that's a lot.
Well, I mean,
for sure.
I definitely. It's just gonna be tough to change.
Yeah. Now, is there any way to like just migrate it?
You know, I'm pretty sure you can change it, but I feel like I don't know. I'm really having a hard time figuring out how I'm gonna do this, and I mean, I'm always gonna be Tavo, you know. Yeah. So I don't know. Working through that.
Yeah. Well, listeners, if y'all know any way we can help them, let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, I just released new music, and I'm also dealing with Spotify and Apple Music, having there's another artist that's music's linked to my artist page or profile.
Okay.
So I've had to like submit forms and stuff to get that fixed. So yeah, it's just a process.
Yeah. What's the new music? Has it dropped yet?
Yeah, it's a song called Two Seater.
Okay.
It's produced by 357, a producer I've been working with for a long time. That's a local guy.
Is this something you want to play for us today?
Yeah, we can run it, man.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Got your phone with you?
Yeah. So that's the other thing too, right? Like, I'm a verified artist on Apple Music and Spotify, and so it's like having to transition that too has been kind of a pain.
See if you can find the Bluetooth.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's do it the pro
real
way. It'll sound way better.
Let's see.
I think it's on, but like I'm pushing this button and nothing is happening. So maybe it's just on.
Caster Pro.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Perfect.
Okay, and before you play it, let's make sure you're linked up. Oh yeah, you're linked up. All right, so before you play it, tell us what you got here.
All right, so this is my new single. It's called Two Seater. It's produced by 357. This is kind of the sound that I'm going with now. I just feel like over time, I've always been a big Texas advocate, and my music always sounds like Texas. And I'm not gonna say that this doesn't sound like Texas, but it's gonna be more of an inclusive sound, I think. I just trying to grow, trying to not just be a rapper either. I want to be an artist.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons why I'm transitioning. Want to get into Mexican music as well. But this is it. Two Seater, produced by 357.
Okay, let's get it.
Two-seater,
Thick señorita,
keep a heater.
real block bleeder,
Two-seater,
walk 2 liter,
desert eagle.
50 millimeter.
I stay in and out the trenches like a running back. Fuck with me and Ross, and you ain't no coming back. I fuck her once, now I swear she can't stop coming back. But all these hoes got their ass from where they tummy at. But I ain't mad about it long as she can make it clear. Don't think for a second shit is sweet because I rap on AK-47s in the country of Iraq. From the south side of the map, that's where the biggest hitters at. 2 hoes in the back, but the baddest in the front. Coupe ain't got no room, sorry you can't ride with us. But pull up to the room, Kelly King is big enough. I'm running through these bitches, Jerome Bettis on the bus. Park the 4-door cause I went and copped the coupe. Circle getting smaller, had to cut him out the loop. Park the 4-door cause I went and copped the coupe. My best friend is the plug, blowing smoke about the roof. I just copped the coupe, blowing smoke about the roof. Clean 2-seater, yeah, I really like the look. I just copped the coupe, blowing smoke about the roof. Clean 2-seater, got these little bitches shoot 2-seater.
Thick señorita,
Keep a heater,
real block bleeder,
two-seater,
walk 2 liter,
desert eagle.
50 millimeter.
So as we're listening to that, we were just kind of talking about the process that you've adopted for releasing music, and you're saying that rather than releasing an album anytime in the near future, you're going to focus on doing singles.
Yeah. I kind of want to roll out singles just so that I can. I mean, I feel like as far as Fort Worth goes and maybe even Texas, I established myself pretty well with Octavio the Trill. So, with this new look or whatever you want to call it, I just want to make sure that none of my music goes to waste.
Right.
Really put the effort, the marketing behind making sure each single gets gets the attention that I think it deserves, and then eventually, once I got enough traction, put out a full project. I'm a project type of guy. I like EPs. I like albums, because for me, I like to be able to show my versatility on a full project, and we'll get there.
Yeah. You just have more options to be in a different space with each one of those singles rather than an album where you're kind of after one focus or one goal, one message kind of.
Yeah, because that's exactly how I feel like my albums are. I want to put out something that's, you know, round and it sounds a certain way. And so now with these singles, I'll roll them out and I can show the versatility of, you know, like this track, for example, is a rap track, you know, it's just hip hop. And then on something else, it's going to be more, I don't know, maybe more, I don't want to say the word mainstream because it's not really what I'm going for, but it's just, I feel like I don't sound like a lot of the stuff that's out nowadays. And so, I don't know, yeah, just rolling out these singles one at a time, making sure they get the attention that I think they deserve, and then once we're established, I got some really big songs. I got a song with Peso. He's one of the biggest Latino Mexican artists in Texas.
Where's he out of?
He's out of Houston.
Okay.
He's just really, you know, taken off. He's part of the Sauce family. So yeah, man, I got a bunch of really big tracks in the works or already in the vault, and so I want to, before I start putting that stuff out, I want to make sure that I'm established. So
just kind of strategizing.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of building up your war chest and figuring out when to use it.
Mm-hmm. I got at least 15 tracks locked and loaded, and always working. It's you know, it's kind of, for me, the creative process. I'm a pretty busy person. I work a full-time job, and I take my job seriously. So it's like when you're in that creative space and you have the motivation or the inspiration, really just knock out as much as I can. Yeah. And then, you know, I might take a couple weeks off, a month off. I feel like I haven't recorded in like a month, and that's
kind of driving you nuts.
Yeah, a little bit, man. It's crazy because I feel inspired. I feel like I've taken a new chapter in my life, and you know, it's either like when you're going through something, or at least for me, anyways, when you're going through something, going through changes, it just sparks creativity. You know, you have more to talk about. When I make music, I try to show who I am, right? And so when you're going through life experiences, it's, you know, the best times for me to be creative. So
do you got a track that is representative of that?
Let's see. Honestly, to be totally honest with you, I think most of the music that I have locked and loaded is kind of I'm kind of focused on I do have one. I have one. So this is a track. You want a little sneak peek?
Let's do it.
Sweet. So this is a track with Eric Evans. He's also a local guy. I put Eric on this because he's kind of more of a conscious rapper. He's really he's super talented.
Now, what do you mean by conscious rapper?
He just is lyrical. He's got a message. It's not just BS, you know?
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, half of my music's BS, but it's fun, you know?
Very intentional with his lyrics.
Right, okay. Exactly. He's got a message, and so I thought this was a perfect song for him, and it's actually called Dreams. So...
Sometimes I feel like I'm just stalling out, like I'm falling out. Ever since a youngin', I had dreams that I be ballin' out. So listen when I call it out, manifesting all my dreams. I'm manifesting all my dreams. Sometimes I feel like I'm just stalling out, like I'm falling out. Ever since a youngin', I had dreams that I be ballin' out. So listen when I call it out, manifesting all my dreams. I'm manifesting manifesting all my dreams. Turning my dreams into reality, so now they mad at me. Fuck a Mortal Kombat finish on fatality. This ain't the way it had to be, but I ain't stressing this right here. You see some Cali tree. We smoke the iPack, yeah, it's just another casualty. I swear I do this shit so casually. What can I say? I'm a hustler like Cassidy, defying gravity. Look up in the clouds, you might see me, but you never get as high as me, as fly as me. Greatness comes with sacrifice. You want the status, gotta pay the price. To see your name lit up in flashing lights. Endless vacations out in paradise. Perfect your craft until this shit is nice, cause homie ain't no living twice. Turn my dreams into reality. 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 Turn my dreams into reality.
Rolling up my ops and bitch, I barely smoke. I had that Mustang, but I need a ghost. Manifest my goals, I'm tryna fuck some midget hoes. Stand 10 toes, I swear they pray to see you fold. In the Colorado hills, we be on the road. Staying humble with this shit can come and go. Because you never know when your time gon' go. She like to fuck me, call me daddy when I'm in that hole. He killed my cousin, but we triple-doubled up the scope. I got some secrets that I always keep up on the low. I manifest my goals, I'm tryna fuck some midget hoes. I'm staying 10 toes, these niggas
sometimes I feel like I'm just stalling out, like I'm falling out. Ever since a youngin', I had dreams that I be ballin' out. So listen when I call it out. Manifesting all my dreams, I'm manifesting all my dreams. Sometimes I feel like I'm just stalling out, like I'm falling out. Ever since a youngin', I had dreams that I be ballin' out. So listen when I call it out. Manifesting all my dreams, I'm manifesting all my dreams. Turn my dreams into reality. 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 Turn my dreams into reality.
So it sounds like turning his dreams into reality, and he gets into some deeper stuff, and then some fun stuff. Some off the wall shit.
Yeah. Eric, man. Shout out to Eric Evans. I feel like he really means it.
I hope he gets this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
That's good. So what were I don't want to butcher it. What were some of the other deeper messages that were wrapped into that track?
Honestly, it's just the I think Eric also says, the shit can come and go. Life isn't promised. Tomorrow isn't promised. So, one of the lyrics that I say is, perfect your craft until the shit is nice, 'cause homie ain't no living twice.
Right.
So just, if you want something in life, man, you got to work for it. At least I feel like you have to work for it to really mean anything. And, just grind it out. And, I feel like...
Brother, put that mic just a little closer to your face.
No problem. But anyways, I think, at least for myself, I've been doing this probably longer than I like to admit. And I feel like it's just, I've gone too far to stop now, You
think you hit 10,000 hours yet?
Oh shit, I mean I've been making music since I got serious about recording myself when I was a sophomore.
And how old are you now?
I'm 31.
Okay.
So
good decade anyway, huh?
Yeah, it's decade
plus.
It's been a good run, man, and so that's the other thing too. I'm ready to take all the experience that I've learned, all the things that I've learned, all the connections that I've made, and really get after it with this new journey. So
it's excellent.
Yeah.
Now tell me about y'all's connection. How do y'all work together?
Yeah, honestly, man, Gionna and Wavy Digital have been a huge part of helping me turn the page, if you will. She's helping me with booking.
She set all this up.
She set this up. She's been getting me on multiple podcasts, and she's helped me out with some shows and stuff.
Yeah, I've seen you pop up on a couple. Which ones have you done so far? Have you been on RAP yet?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of them.
Well, I at least
I like those guys.
Yeah, they're cool.
I
man.
haven't really hung out with them yet, but we're kind of talking on social.
Yeah, they played one of my tracks and did a review on it, and
Excellent.
It did really well. I was really made me feel really good, man. So yeah, shout out to them. And who else? What else have we done?
Crispin, the global.
Oh
Latin
yeah,
Factor.
the Global Latin Factor. They've had some pretty big artists on their show, so that one was cool.
Are they out of Dallas or? I
guess
haven't heard of them.
The studio is in Bedford. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're probably claiming Fort Worth.
I don't know.
Yeah, honestly,
I don't know.
I think it's kind of like maybe more so like a DFW thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that do that. What about RAP? Are they located here in Fort Worth?
I'm honestly not sure where they're located, but I noticed that when
Oh, y'all didn't do it in person?
no, we just submitted a track and they reviewed it, and so yeah, I hope to go on their show. I'm just trying to get out, man. I'm a huge supporter as well, so like anytime somebody gives me the time of day and are willing to get me out there, I'm always going to show love back, and hopefully that turns into more views for
Everybody.
for everybody.
Yeah. That's a great thing about Fort Worth. It's extremely collaborative, and of course you've always got a home here at Fort Worth Roots, but there's there's so many of us now.
Yeah, and I think you're exactly right. It's very inclusive as long as you're in that creative space and you're not a douche. People usually rock with you.
There's some people we don't want to work with. I mean, it's true, but that's any group of people. There's going to be some people that you just kind of steer clear of, but yeah, for the most part, man, Fort Worth is extremely collaborative and accepting, and everybody just kind of want to help everybody. Because like you said, I think most people understand that a rising tide lifts all ships. So
yeah, absolutely, man.
The music community and the podcast community work very closely together. So.
Yeah, I mean they go hand in hand, right?
Amplify 817's got a lot to do with that too, with the Fort Worth Public Library. They've kind of bridged that gap, and we got invited out to the Visit Fort Worth thing. So the city is starting to kind of recognize the podcast community, which is just wild.
Right.
But very cool that that's happening in Fort Worth. I mean, other cities probably don't do stuff like that.
Yeah, 817 Amplify, I can't say a whole lot right now, but
give it time, brother.
But yeah, it's really cool.
There's a hip hop R&B category, so
yeah, it's super cool, and I can't say too much, but
right, yeah, it's there's so many incredible artists in Fort Worth, and I meet people all the time that whenever I bring up Amplify 817, they're like, "Oh man, I can't get my foot in the door," and I'm like, "Just you gotta wait." They have
process.
And Teresa Davis, she'll say things like, "Oh, that's class of whatever." She breaks it down, and
that's really cool.
She remembers who was in which run for their nomination process.
Right.
She calls them class of whatever. But it's a great gig, and I'm really glad that Fort Worth has a program like that. And yeah, you just got to stay after it.
Yeah, definitely.
But the more active you are, I promise you, the more you're doing with the community, they pick up on stuff like that too.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not just based on if they think you're good or not.
Yeah.
If they see you putting the work in and working with the community and doing all that good stuff, that's another big thing that they look at.
Yeah, that's another great thing that Wavy Digital has brought to the table for me is I'm always big into community, always have been, and I guess Fort Worth at least from where I'm from, it's a big place and there's a lot going on. So I tend to not know what's going on all the time, and she's been super great about getting me involved in mixers. And shout out to Ernie. Ernie's been helping out.
Ernie.
Yeah, he's been sending us some stuff to do. So big shout out to him.
Cool.
He's really connected, and Fort Worth's just a great place for creatives as long as you're willing to show love back and get involved.
And I think it's Ernie on Instagram.
Yeah, it's Ernie.
Yeah.
Shout out to him.
Ernie. Need to get you on the show, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully he hears this. And he's got his own podcast too, right?
Yeah.
and I think I know he pops up with our podcast crew from time to time, but he's an incredibly busy dude. He's always doing stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I definitely have seen the maybe, I don't know if this is the right word or not, but I feel like he's more on the corporate side of the connections, you know, like, I don't know if that's the right word. But
I don't know either. But he's got a great personality, and I think people really gravitate towards it.
That boy's popping on. I don't have TikTok or anything like that, and that's another thing.
What?
I know Gionna hates me because of it, but I just like,
dude, I know. Now I got to worry about another social platform.
Yeah, and honestly, she's offered to
run it.
To run it for me.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I hate to say it, but I'm a control freak when it comes to, you
everything.
know, my craft. Everything she said. So it's just, you know.
I get it. I've had people offer to, like, take the episodes and edit them for me for, like, a really cheap price. And I'm like, how could you do that? They're like, oh, yeah, you know, we just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but you're not me. So how would you finish it out? How would you know what I want in the episode and what I don't? Like, oh, you know, we take some liberties and just kind of figure it out and stuff. And I'm like,
yeah, same, right? No liberties on my creations, bro.
I get it. I get it 100%. I've seen on your social media that you've been doing a lot of stuff in towns around Fort Worth. Have you got anything recently that you've done here in Fort Worth, or you have something coming up?
Yeah, so I have a show coming up on June 23rd.
Okay.
It's going to be with two legends that I grew up listening to, and I know that they're legends, so they're maybe a little bit older. It may not hit with a younger crowd maybe, but
never know.
Yeah, Devin the Dude and Tum Tum. Devin the Dude's out of Houston, Tum Tum's out of Dallas. Southside the Realist, he's featured on that track.
Did you say where this is going down at?
It's at the Haltom City Theater.
Okay.
Yeah, or Haltom Theater, I guess it's called. So yeah, it's on June 23rd. Shout out to Sly, that guy. He's the one that put the showcase together, and he's always looking out. He knows how serious I am, and he knows the kind of crowd that my music pertains to. And I think there's not a I've performed with Devin the Dude before, and it was just a super successful show, and I'm super excited about it.
Okay. I think this episode might be out by then, but make sure to, like, let me know.
Yeah.
Put some flyers out or whatever, and I'll share them on
definitely
Instagram and Facebook.
I know he announced that the show is officially going down or whatever, but once I get a flyer and stuff, I'll post it and make sure that make sure you know.
Yeah, 100%. And probably should be coordinating with you on that.
I was gonna
probably.
say, AKA, I'll let you know.
Man, and I'm such a. It's like I just forget everything. I have the worst memory.
Sounds like you got a lot going on.
Yeah,
though. And I do that too, and I try so hard not to. But getting back to emails, getting back to messages on Facebook and Instagram. I think I was actually pretty prompt with you this time.
Yeah.
Right, for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Man, and so no, I get it. And then just trying to get to the mixers and trying to coordinate with our friends, the podcasters, the musicians. There's stuff going on every single day. Yeah. And I am constantly apologizing. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot make that. Yeah. Right before you guys rolled in, I got a message from somebody. Shout out to Jeff Zero over at Cloudland Studios with our boy Joe Tacky. They asked me to come out and just hang with them while they did some recordings. I'm like, that would be so awesome, but I can't make it. I'm sorry. You need to give me definitely more than 30 minutes notice. I'm sorry. No, I'm not trying to, put my chest out and flex at all, but it's just that's the way it is. You got to schedule, and even if I had known, we've been on the schedule for 3 weeks. Well, we had to reschedule. We were actually on the schedule for like a month and a half.
Because you were pretty booked up.
Right. And then something came up, and I'm like, we're going to have to squeeze this in somewhere. Today was not the day for this, by the way. I've been up since 11 p.m. yesterday.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm hurting.
I'm hurting too, man. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to say a whole lot, but it's definitely...
No, tell us. Come on.
Well...
Let's hear the whole story.
We just went out with some buddies, and I kind of I kind of got kidnapped and
These things happen.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, we'll go. We were supposed to just go have dinner, and
That's how it always starts.
yeah,
One beer, I promise.
right. And the funny thing is that my friend Antonio, he drove, so I think he kind of planned that. Like, if I drive, he can't leave, and so yeah, he doesn't even drink right now, and I definitely do drink. So
Yeah.
we had too much to drink. I didn't get home till like 5 a.m. and thankfully I slept a good like solid 12 hours.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay.
I'm ready to rock and roll again. Canelo fights tonight. Tequila's gonna be rolling again.
Who's he fighting?
He's fighting a rider. It's a fight at super middleweight at 168.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big boxing fan too, man.
I love watching it. I just don't keep up.
Yeah,
You know, I've seen a lot of the big ones, the ones that are extremely popularized and advertised, and sometimes you get in there wanting to see some heavyweights and pay whatever obscene amount to watch it.
and it's over quick.
And it's over in 50 seconds. You're like,
Yeah.
shit.
yeah, yeah.
They took my money.
I feel like Canelo's gonna do that tonight. He
What weight class you said?
super middleweight,
Okay. Yeah, you said 160?
168.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. The lighter they are, the longer the fight usually.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. You know, a guy like Canelo, he just came off a loss. He moved up in weight to fight these bigger guys at light heavyweight, and he took his first loss since Mayweather, which was like he was like, I don't know, maybe like 20 years old or something when that fight went down.
Yeah.
So he's a magnificent fighter, and he's a lot of fun to watch. So I'm excited for him to.
So he stepped
get
up
back in
to
there.
heavyweight and lost?
Yeah, he stepped up to light heavyweight, and that's at 175, I believe. And he took on the biggest challenger, like the absolute toughest guy to fight.
Yeah.
For the toughest fight for him to make.
Was it a 12-round fight?
It was a 12-round fight, and they went the distance.
That's title, right?
Yeah. And basically, he's a unified champion. So there's 4 major belts, and he has all 4 of the major belts at 168, and then he got 2 belts at 175 at light heavyweight, and then he was trying to unify that weight class too. But those guys are huge, bro. They're guys that are like 200 plus that cut down to 175, and they're just compared to him, they're huge guys, and he's already a small guy that's moving up to make those fights happen.
Yeah.
So I know there's a lot of Canelo slander, but
You know how
I'm a
old he
huge
is
fan.
now?
He's probably like pretty close to, I think he's in his early 30s now.
Okay.
Yeah. He might we'll see what happens. He might be on his way out. Everyone says
if he's that good, he could go another 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, especially because he's at the point in his career where he chooses who he's fighting. He's the face of boxing. I don't care what anybody says. He's a top dog.
Fight me.
Yeah. And yeah, anyways, he always fights on Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So it's a whole weekend thing for me.
Whole week thing, right? The
Yeah.
lead up,
Yeah,
the shit
exactly.
talking,
Yeah.
the bet placing.
I don't gamble, but if I was, I'd put my money on Canelo. So.
Yeah. Have you been on Javier's show, the ball bag?
I haven't.
If you ever want to talk sports, and boxing definitely falls into that, you should hit him up. It's the Ball Bag Podcast. Javier and Lance, I think Lance. Yeah, I think Lance and Javier do the Ball Bag Podcast. But anyway, it's their own little thing, and they just talk sports. And
Love it, man. I'm
Yeah.
a huge sports
should
fan.
hit them up
Yeah.
because it'd give them something to talk about and plug your art.
Yeah, definitely, man. I use a bunch of sports references in all my music too. Actually, 357 gets mad at me. He's like, "No more sports." And I'm like, "Bro, it's just who I am. Like, you gotta let me do it, man. Like, maybe at least one a song, you know. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just part of my personality.
Just help me master the track.
Yeah, bro, come on. No, but he's also been a huge part of the new rebrand, and he's a serious guy, you know. So
What's his name?
His name's 357.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, producer.
I thought that was just the studio.
Yeah, well, 357 Studios, and he's 357.
Got it.
So
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah, so shout out to him. Any artist that's really wanting to take their music to the next level, in my opinion, I think he's the best engineer out right now in Fort Worth, at least.
It sounds like he's got some marketing knowledge too, because he just went ahead and like preemptively called himself 357. You know how many times people walk up to me and they're like, the Fort Worth Roots guy, and I'm like,
yeah, man,
that's
Fire.
my name now.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of like hey, you're the rapper. I hate hearing that. Yeah, I
Hey,
guess I am the rapper.
That's high praise though. The rapper,
Right,
Not
right.
a rapper.
Right. But yeah,
They don't even call it rap anymore, do they?
I don't know.
It's hip hop or R&B. I guess
Right.
are the only two remaining titles or categories.
I'm definitely I'm trying to be an artist. I want to just be, hey, you're the artist.
Musician.
Yeah, the
something.
musician. Yeah.
Anything but rap.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against being a rapper, but it just kind of sounds kind of corny. Like, hey,
Well,
you're a
it's antiquated. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
nobody calls it rap anymore,
Yeah.
which I didn't know until like a year or two ago, and I'm like, so this is no more rap. Oh, just disappeared. We don't call it that anymore because we were either listening to a track or at a show, and I used the term rap, and somebody corrected me, and I'm like, oh, because
Like,
to my
sorry,
ears
bro.
that's rap, but
Right.
I'll back up. So, I started to kind of segue into this question earlier, asking about Fort Worth. Kind of, do you feel like rap is getting the attention it needs in Fort Worth? Do you feel like it's as accepted as other art forms in the Fort Worth community? And the reason I was asking you that is because I do see you doing a lot of stuff around Fort Worth. You know, you guys are in Denton, you guys are in Dallas. If I'm correct,
Yeah.
I mean, y'all been playing all over the place.
Yeah, I try to get anything that makes sense, you know. Yeah, I think it's definitely changing. It's evolving, and it's becoming more accepted. And you know, at least in the past, when I first got out here, it was super hard to find venues that would give us a space. And things have changed, man. I think it's just I mean, at the end of the day, if you have a market of people that want something, and businesses or establishments can capitalize on it, in the sense of, you know, capital, you know,
Yeah.
it makes total sense.
So if
you
the
know?
audience is there,
Yeah.
that's the biggest problem. If you can get the people to come to a show, then you're good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing too. Haltom Theater has been super great. They have a great venue, and they are super inclusive. They have all types of music. I think
Yep.
we did a show. Crooked Tooth Fostepco, he put on a show, and it was a 420 show, and Dank was actually performing, and he.
Did y'all do that on a Thursday?
Yeah, it was on a Thursday. Yeah, and he, you know, Dank was nice enough to let me. We did a track together that we recorded, and while we were, you know, because there's two different rooms. We were doing a rap show or a hip hop show on the one side, and there's a full blown metal concert on the other side.
Yeah,
So-
because it's divided, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I think I really appreciate the owners there. A
Yeah.
super nice guy, and he lets us do our thing. So
Well, they have an incredible reputation with the entire music community because they are inclusive,
Right.
and it sounds like, I mean, they're doing something right because nobody has said a bad thing about them. And you compare that to what do we got over here on Camp Bowie? Ridgely Theater.
oh yeah.
Not a good reputation, and it's not the space, it's not the location, it's the way they treat the musicians.
Right.
So shout out to Haltom City Theater. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Haltom Theater.
Haltom Theater. I
Yeah,
think.
they're doing something right.
Yeah, I've done a couple big shows there with big artists. Like I did a show there with Peso and Sosa Man when they were on tour. And then I've done the Devin the Dude show there. Yeah, man, it's a great venue.
Yeah.
ESG.
Oh yeah, ESG. Shout out to ESG. He's another Texas legend. I got a song with him. He was kind of going through some health things, so it was kind of a scary moment there. But he's doing better, I believe. And yeah, I got another song with a screwed up click, legend. Just a full. I can't express it enough. He's a legend. He's a reason. I'm not gonna say it this way. Let me think about how I say this. He had a joint album with Slim Thug before Slim Thug was really blowing up, and after they did that, Slim Thug took off, and so he's a guy that really helped connect Houston when Houston was going through the north side and the south side beef stuff. So yeah, shout out to ESG. Got a track with him. Hopefully I can get with him soon and we can figure out about rolling that thing out. So
excellent.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough though, because that was a Top of the Trail song. So I might just I've been trying to figure out what to do with that though, but I might just release another song as Top of the Trail. I'm trying to close that chapter.
The people that follow you, all you gotta do is just be vocal about it on your social media, and they're gonna get it.
Yeah,
it's not. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a problem. I would hate it if you had to. I mean, just post on both. This is what you do. Set up your new social media accounts. You already know this. I just had this brilliant idea. You're 1,000 years ahead of me. But you just post on both, and then on the one that you're trying to get rid of, you drop other videos saying, "Hey, look, this is the old page. Come check out the new me," and just kind of sprinkle that in. But post everything on both for a while.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're just gonna have to kiss it goodbye.
It's not a bad idea, man. Again, I'm a control freak.
You've been telling him that.
So I'm just like, I don't know, man. Hey, man, it is what it is. But yeah, appreciate that.
So tell us about this small. When I was growing up, I always called it North Texas, but it turns out it's West Texas, up there in the Panhandle.
Yeah,
I don't know how that got screwed up when people started naming Texas like certain regions.
It don't make no sense, right?
Right. So the real North Texas, where you came from, what's the name of that little bitty town?
It's called Perryton.
And there are 9,000 people in that town.
Now there is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's grown a little bit.
And last time you were here with Dank, and I can't remember what episode it was on, but we had Dank 817 with us on that episode, and we were talking about a party that you guys either were part of or through.
Yeah, I have a friend that his mother was a educator at the alternative school.
Mm-hmm.
She was
that's right. This was a fundraiser.
Yeah, it was a fundraiser for her scholarship fund. She passed away, and they started a scholarship fund that we wanted to honor her, and all the things that she's done. She personally helped my brother and my sister-in-law get through school. He got his now wife pregnant when he was like 17 or something like that. So,
wow.
Yeah, she was the type of lady that would come and knock on people's doors to get them out of their house to get them to school. So.
Now, for people that don't know where this is, what was the next largest town over from there?
Closest place, man, was our closest shopping mall was in Amarillo, Texas. Okay. So 2 hours away.
Well, y'all were north of that, right?
North of it, yeah.
Right. So if anybody can even imagine, I remember saying this last time. I was like, I didn't know anything was after Amarillo. I thought that was it. I thought Texas dropped off after that. But no, you can travel another 2 hours to get to your hometown.
Yeah, and
can you throw a rock and hit Oklahoma? Or?
You can definitely. Yes. It's funny because our closest Walmart's actually in Kansas.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's an hour north, and you have to cross the little Oklahoma Strip into Kansas to get to Walmart.
You're gonna see 3 states today, my friend.
Right. It all looks the same though. So.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%.
It's a flatlands for sure.
Here's an interesting little tidbit that I just ran across, and I think it's true. It sounds true, but did you know that little sliver of Oklahoma? Did you know it has racist roots? Like the reason that it's like that is racist.
It totally makes sense.
I mean, can have either one of y'all heard this? Because I just heard this.
No.
So at some point, and I don't know where we are in the history books with this one, but there was a line drawn. It said anything south of this, slavery is allowed.
Oh wow!
I think. something like
Yeah.
that. And anything north of it, slavery is not allowed. And this
Right.
must have been like before the Civil War, I guess. I don't know. But Texas just went, okay, well, Oklahoma, y'all can have this land. And they dropped the Texas property line
Right.
or border or whatever just so that they can maintain their status.
That's crazy.
And that's why that's there to
Yeah.
this day. That little strip you got to drive through to get to that Walmart. Otherwise, that would have been Texas.
Yeah, so
I just thought that was the wildest thing. And I don't even know if it's true because I didn't fact check it. I saw it on a TikTok video and it just got stored as fact. So, anyway.
yeah, I believe it, man.
But it
I
sounds
believe
true.
it. Yeah, I definitely believe it. It's pretty cool though. Perryton as growing up there as 50-50 Mexican people and white people, and I think over time, probably the majority in Perryton now is Mexican people.
Really?
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot out there, but there's really good restaurants, small, mom and pop places, and I really miss that because Fort Worth is a plethora of amazing food, right? But
Not really mom and pop. Even the family-owned ones, they're more corporate now, right?
yeah, I think anywhere that gets popularity out here really flourishes, And so when you go back home and you can go to the same spot, everything looks the same as it did 10 years ago. It's nothing like it,
Yeah. Well, I know whenever one of the biggest adjustments for me whenever I moved to Fort Worth, because Abilene is I don't know the percentages, but it's got a heavy Hispanic population for sure.
Yeah.
And we've got Hernandez Bakery and I don't even know if these places are still open.
Right.
I think they are, but they had like 2 or 3 locations, and then La Popular, they had at least 2 locations, and then a bunch of other ones.
Yeah.
But if you wanted a breakfast burrito at 6 a.m.
Right.
You had options.
Yeah,
you could, everybody wants La Popular, like that's the one you go to, but it's like all the way on the other side of town, which by the way is 10 minutes.
Yeah, literally.
Right? But Hernandez, it might be a block over, but you have options. So, and then whenever I got to Fort Worth, I'm like, where are the burrito places? Like, what do you do?
It's
how do I get my carne asada with the gravy sauce? And where's that place? There's not one. I've looked everywhere.
It's crazy, and that's people, friends come to town and they're like, hey, where should we go eat? And a lot of times I draw a blank and I'm like, bro, there's so many places to eat here.
Yeah, you get overwhelmed with options. Yeah, you know what the answer is though. Lonesome Dove. That's where you take people from out of town.
Lonesome Dove.
You ever been there?
I haven't.
Oh my God, dude.
That's awesome.
I don't know what it is about that meat, but like you will leave there in a better mood.
Awesome.
Like it's so incredible. Huh?
I said, boss, I don't know what it is about the meat, but you leave there and
you're in a better mood. I don't know. It's got an effect on you.
That's awesome.
It's really good. I'm joking, of course. Kinda. It is like the number one spot for me. If I've got people from out of town, they're like,
cool.
What's the best place? I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, pick a category and you've got 100 options.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I usually take all my friends that come to town to Panther City Barbecue.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they were in the top 10 in Texas on Texas Monthly.
Something like that. Yeah, they made news for sure.
They ended up getting on Hulu, and they're a family-owned establishment. And shout out to Flaco. He's a good friend of mine, and so I tell you, man, there's a huge line every time they're open. Like if you don't get there at 11 when they open, you are gonna be standing in line because they're just killing it.
Sounds like some of the places down in Austin.
Yeah, like your Blackbeards or whatever, big barbecue joints like that are super popular.
My favorite in the area is Hard Eights. You ever had Hard Eights?
I haven't.
They've got one in Stephenville, and I think that's the OG.
Right.
And then they've got a couple of other ones like around DFW, but it's so damn good.
Yes.
I haven't actually been to Panther Barbecue yet.
Yeah, the reason I think one of them.
Check that out.
Me neither, and I'm his friend, and I've never been.
Oh, what are y'all doing tomorrow?
Right, man. Seriously.
Go.
But then again, I don't eat red meat.
Work,
so
well,
it kind of defeats the purpose
no, that
of me
makes
going.
sense that you haven't been there then.
They what I really like about it is they have a Mexican twist on barbecue. So Flaco has his own menu. You can get all your traditional barbecues, right?
Is Flaco the owner?
He's
Head chef?
Yeah, he's one of the
Grill master?
Yeah, he's
Pit master?
He's part of the family. I don't know how they categorize that, but he's definitely He's part of the family that owns it.
I was told you never eat a skinny cook's food. This dude's name's Flacco.
And he's skinny, and his shit is so good, bro. He does they do like brisket tacos. They do like asada or guisada burritos. They do like brisket elote.
I hate that you're making me hungry this late. Like,
yeah, we
I bet they're open late too.
You know, I know now that they have their brick and mortar. They're open longer than they.
I would think, and especially like down there in that area too, because you got all those hot little bars down there that everybody likes going to. They have a elote. You like elote? No.
It's crazy.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. What do you think?
You like spiral?
No.
No. I like spiral. I'm a meat eater, and I like spiral.
Man,
I haven't been in there in a while. It's actually been 2 or 3 years since I've been in Spiral. But what's another good restaurant that's off the meat?
Well, I'm from a small town. We don't have like anything. Like
What town are you
Chick-fil-A.
Gainesville.
Gainesville? Gainesville's not that small, is it? What's the
pretty
population
small.
there, you think?
I have no idea. Probably close to what Perryton has.
That's pretty small.
But we have a Walmart.
Yeah. Got you beat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Yeah. I don't know. Gainesville's sounding a lot bigger.
It's not though.
Y'all got a Chick-fil-A?
No.
So
way.
you can't get Chick-fil-A any day of the week?
Nah.
And we just got ours like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
I think the closest Chick-fil-A to Perryton is probably Amarillo.
Yeah. Does 35 runs through Gainesville, right?
Mhm.
Oh,
like
y'all.
you go to get to the Windstar Casino, you
Yeah.
go through Gainesville.
Yeah. So y'all are going to get a Buc-ee's pretty soon.
Maybe we just got a QT.
Oh, man.
Coming up.
We are coming up.
It's DFW is getting so big so fast that Parrington eventually will be like part of it. So I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. It's crazy. Texas is just wild right now.
Yeah, it is.
The housing market's kind of slumped a little bit, but there for a minute, dude, it was like every week, the house across the street would go up $10,000.
Oh yeah,
It was nuts.
to buy a house. You had to have an extra $20K in your back pocket to go to bid war with.
Oh God,
that's crazy.
That's pretty minimal. Yeah, it was stupid. There was people putting in offers, 10-20% above asking price.
Crazy.
Like, what?
Yeah, they probably are not from Texas. So
No, and there was a huge influx of people moving in from out of state. But another thing that happened that, this is just fact. It's not even an opinion. Companies were buying up droves of houses, not to sell them, but to increase the price of houses around them.
Yeah.
So you'd have these big property groups come in and they'd buy up 100 homes, and they would check, and strategically they'd buy them around Fort Worth and DFW, and they would jack the prices up. And whenever other people saw that, they're like, that house is worth what?
Yeah.
Well, I'm selling my house because it's bigger than that one, and I'm going to get 20,000 more than these guys.
Yeah.
And it just kind of over the course of 2 years, and now I was talking to a guy. I'm in construction.
Sweet.
And this guy's putting a pad together for a mobile home to go on top of it. And I was like, man, I'm just curious. How much is the house worth? And he's like, oh, yeah, this one's actually a smaller one. It's going for $350,000. I was like, excuse me?
Yeah.
A mobile home?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sitting on blocks?
Yeah.
Like,
no way.
how does this continue? And, like, I don't know. We should talk about what you do for a living, but, like, my paycheck is not matching
Right.
Yeah.
the price of groceries, the price of gas, which actually has gone down like 30 cents this week, but that's been nice. But I mean, I don't know how we continue to keep the economy going with all these increases.
It's kind of crazy too, because I sell semi trucks.
Okay.
And so, the market as far as semi trucks goes is pretty tough right now. But on the flip side of things, it's the price of trucks have gone down.
Yeah.
So if you can right now is the time to buy trucks, and they're like, compared to last year, there was trucks that were $100,000 that are going for 70 now.
These are the cabs that pull the big 18-wheeler trailers.
Yeah, 18-wheelers. Yeah, bobtail trucks.
You can probably tell me if this story's true, but apparently there was a new emissions law or something that was passed in California, and people were running to California to buy these trucks from people that were just trying to offload them because they couldn't use them in California anymore.
Yeah.
And they were bringing them back here to Texas, and they were selling them.
Yeah, it's basically they're deleted trucks. So
Right.
in California, you have to have a DEF filter or a DEF system. And I'm pretty new to the trucking industry. Yeah. So I don't want to give false information or inaccurate information,
Right.
but it's an emissions thing. The DEF system.
Every truck I see, even the mixer trucks that I drive at my place of employment here in Texas, they all have DEF systems.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just the craziest shit because you're paying, $4 a gallon for diesel, and then you turn it around and you're paying another $4 a gallon for the DEF.
Yeah.
Like, how do these guys make it, man? Because a lot of these trucks you see on the road are owner-operator.
Yeah.
And if they're facing the same struggles that everybody else is, their price per hour is not going up to match how much they're having to put into new emission regulations, the cost of diesel going up, the cost of the DEF fluid. Because DEF fluid, when it started, was like $1.25 a gallon when it started, right?
Honestly,
it was low.
It
was almost negligible.
Right. Again, like I said, I'm pretty new to the industry, so I can't say a whole lot because I'm still learning. But
yeah.
If you need a truck, man, I can sell you.
Where can people find you selling trucks?
So
slinging that 18-wheeler.
So I work for Diamond Truck Sales. Shout out to Austin O'Quinn. He's a very good friend of mine that I was with Verizon for 7 years, and we're a private franchise, and we got bought out, and I was a regional business account manager. I was over 14 locations and was helping with some of the stores that we had in Wyoming as well, but I got pushed out, man.
Damn.
Yeah, after 7
years.
This company came in, and they bought the franchise that I worked for, and they offered me like a normal sales rep position. I just couldn't afford to take the pay cut.
No.
So my buddy Austin hit me up. He hooked me up, and we're rolling, man. We got an awesome team. Antonio, he's one of the guys that I work with as well. Yeah, man, we're rolling. We're off of a 30 in Oakland, and we got really good trucks, man. We guarantee no check engine lights, no air leaks, no oil leaks, and we want people to be successful. A lot of times in the truck selling world, or even in the car automotive industry, it's tough.
It's shady business.
It's exactly. And so we want to be the place that, we sell you a truck, you go make all your money, and then you come back and buy some more trucks.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I probably should have seen you guys before I bought the mobile podcast studio. Did I show you guys that last time you were here? I've got this huge, used to be an old uniform truck.
Oh, sweet,
Big box truck.
Yeah.
Think UPS, think uniform truck.
Yeah.
I think it's called a workhorse. I'm still kind of fuzzy on the details for this thing, but it's massive.
Right.
And I got a deal on it. I thought I got a deal on it. I think originally the truck was supposed to sell for like $14,000.
Yeah.
And I'd had my eye on it. That one and a bunch of other ones. I was just kind of looking at them, going, man, how am I going to do this? How am I going to pull it off? Because I had to have a mobile podcast studio, which, by the way, is just sitting in the back.
All right.
Anyway, it dropped. It went from whatever it was at to like $6,000, and I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah.
So I called him up. I said, don't sell that truck. I'm on the way.
Right.
And I'd already sent them like $500 just to make sure they didn't sell it. And sure enough, man, I got there. We test drove it, brought it back into the yard, and we're sitting down to do paperwork. And this dude comes in. He just drove in from Denton because he's doing the same thing I was doing. Just looking at these trucks, and he saw the price drop, and he's like, oh, shit. So he drove down from Denton. I drove from Fort Worth. This is out in past Royce City.
Right.
You know where that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, way out there.
Yeah.
And anyway, he walked in, and he's like, yeah, I'm here for the truck. I came to buy it. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. You didn't drive far, did you? And he's like, yeah, I didn't. I'm like, Jesus, I feel bad, man, but I'm not letting this thing go.
Yeah,
and he's like, man, I'm trying to build a food truck, blah, 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 blah. I got 7 kids. They're starving to death. I was like, oh.
Right.
No, not all that, but
Yeah.
it was like his dream thing that he was driving from Denton to get, and I beat him by like 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time with us too, man. It's like you try to, I'm the type of guy that I don't want to be like a salesman, I want to just guide people through the process, and I try to tell them, hey man, these trucks, they sell quick.
Yeah.
Like if you don't put a deposit on it and you're dead set on this truck, you're gonna be disappointed when
they
they
walk in and it's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
But I get that Joker all the way back to Fort Worth, man, and it was the craziest ride ever too. Because like it's not. I mean, I got the paper plates, but I don't know if it's totally legal. Right. And I'd called my insurance lady, and she was like, "Yeah, I'll put the forms in, no problem." Like, Susie, am I good? She's like, "I think you're good." I'm like, we're doing this. Yeah. I'm here. So I took an Uber all the way from Fort Worth past Roy City to get to this place.
Holy cow.
And I'm not saying their name because what happened next, I'll never forgive them for. As soon as I got that thing parked, check engine light came on. And I'm like, those sons of bitches knew. Yeah. They knew. Yeah. That's why because I asked them, I'm like, why did y'all drop the price like that? Nothing's wrong with it, right? They're like, yeah, no, it's great.
Right.
I'm like, okay. Well, I know I'm probably screwing up here, but I'm not going to find one this cheap ever again. Right. So I went ahead and I bought it, knowing full well that they were probably lying through their teeth at me, because half of them, whenever I asked them questions specific to that vehicle, they're like, well, I don't really know nothing about it, but the guy that, does know, but he's not here today, so.
Great.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, you guys are so full of shit.
Right.
I knew I was getting lied to.
Right.
And then, suspicions confirmed whenever the light came on, so now I got to deal with that.
Well, best of luck with that, man. I think the fact that you got it at that price, though, hopefully it'll work out.
Do y'all have mechanics over there?
We do, but
they don't work on third-party stuff.
Yeah, they're like.
Well, ask around for me if you would, because I don't even know who works on that. I talked to like a dozen shops in Fort Worth, and they're all like, "Nope, too big, don't want it."
No, I can definitely help you out, man.
Because it's huge.
Yeah.
It's so big. Yeah. It won't fit in anybody's bay. So they're like, oh, no.
Do you know what kind of engine it has?
I think it's just a 350. Okay. I think, but I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It just looks like an engine to me.
Yeah, I have some. I know some people, so
okay.
I'll definitely.
Yeah.
I'll get.
I was gonna try to find a mobile mechanic and be like, hey man, you want to sponsor the show?
Right.
Pay them for their work, but talk about them and
maybe get a little discount on there.
Something, try to work something out. Because I mean, we kind of broke around here. We're working on it.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. I tell you what, you got one more badass track you want to play for us?
Man, let's see. Let's see what I can give.
Let them do some shopping real quick. Yeah. So, how was your day?
My day was great.
What did you do?
Nothing.
Oh, that is a good day. It's beautiful outside.
Yeah, and you sound like you need rest.
I have no idea how I'm not dead right now. Like, legit tried to take a little nap before y'all got here. I laid down on that couch over there, and nah, wasn't happening.
Did you say 11 a.m. or 11 p.m.?
11 p.m. yesterday is when I got up.
Jeez.
And then I went to the gym, got a good workout, took a shower at the gym, got in my work clothes. Did I eat? No, I had a protein shake. Then I went to work. I got there right about 2 o'clock, clocked in at 2:30, earlier than I'm supposed to. Sorry, boss. He doesn't listen. He didn't listen to this. I told him to like a year ago. I was like, do you ever listen to my show? I talk shit about you all the time, right? And he's like, really? It's like, yeah, you should listen sometime. Like, just trying to get him to listen.
Right.
This is probably like the second time I've ever brought him up as the boss. I don't think I've ever said his name.
His actual name.
Yeah. Wouldn't do it.
That's a long day.
Don't want to lose my job. Yeah, and then we did it's Saturday, so usually we don't work long on a Saturday, but we did 10 hours today. So I left there about just right at noon, and then I went back to the gym.
Hey,
and I did it again.
We're getting in.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
So I guess
crazy person.
Do you know I think he just goes by Rookie now, but he was going by Washed Up Rookie.
Yeah, I went to one of his shows, I think. Did he do the what was that Big Bash with Lou Charles? Was he at that?
Honestly, that sounds pretty in line.
I think that might be. If not, it was something like that over there at Tulips.
Yeah, him and Milky
Beats.
Yeah.
No, Milky Beats.
Yeah.
I don't think we've met, but I know who he is.
Yeah, so I guess every now and then they work over at a 357 studio together.
Okay. Cool.
And so 357 worked his magic, and I ended up getting a rookie on a track, and I think it's super cool. I'm not gonna show you that one, but shout out to Washed Up Rookie and Milky.
Some of those guys got too big, man. I don't even try to bring them on anymore.
Dude.
I begged. God damn it, we just said his name twice. Lou Charles.
Oh yeah.
I begged him for like a year.
Yeah.
Before he rapped with Ludacris on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. Lou's
got
doing
too big,
it.
man.
Yeah, he's doing it. But this is the track that I have with the Peso.
Okay.
I'm not gonna play the whole thing.
Oh, okay. We're just getting a sneak peek.
You're gonna get a sneak peek.
You gonna give it to us from the middle, or are you starting from the beginning?
I'm gonna start it from the beginning.
Okay.
I'm probably not gonna show you all of Peso's verse.
Okay.
So, but here goes.
All right. We're gonna
This
get
is
what
called,
we get.
This is called Whip, featuring Peso, produced by 357.
I'll steal his phone. That way he can't pause it.
Whipping that bitch like I stole it. Glock on my ops, yeah, I'm holding. Finger fucking like it's hoeing. Strip up what you set in motion. Feds up like pressure, you folding. Whipping that shit like gumbo. Flipping shit pronto. Dishing out dimes like Rondo. OG, I'm the juice, white Bronco. Everything Blanco. Laughing my ass to the Bongo. The way that I'm whipping this shit, you would think that I'm whipping them bricks. Keep me a switch. Ain't checking in with no clicks. Try me, I'm dumping the clip. I'm whipping it up. Which whip should I pick? The Cadillac or the truck? I'm fucking it up. Can't whip how I will. Look how I double it up. Whip it good. She tell me, Papi, I just love it how you hit it good. Don't need no perky, I just rub it and I stick it good.
That's all we get, man. That's the sneak peek. Y'all heard it first, right?
That's
we heard
it. It's the first.
Oh man,
it's at least I maybe have previewed it on my page, on my social media, maybe a little bit, but that's the first. That's the first one.
Awesome, awesome. Well, again, thank y'all so much for doing this with me. Let's shout out all the new social media tags. Where can people find you?
So as far as social media goes, my Instagram's still at Tavo the Trill. It's really pretty much the platform that I use most. I love Twitter, but you might get offended if you look at my Twitter. That's at Tavo the Trill as well.
Get kind of political on that Twitter?
Not necessarily. I just talk a lot of shit.
So. A lot of boxing references in there?
Definitely some boxing. And then on Apple Music and Spotify, I've really all streaming platforms. You can find my new track 2-seater under Octavio, OCTAVIO.
Excellent.
No more rapper name, no more facade, just it's me.
Excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
So we'll find all those links. We'll put them in the show notes for our people to click on and enjoy your music. And can we get you back on the show pretty soon?
Yeah, anytime, man. I really rock with you. I appreciate you having me,
absolutely.
man.
And if you want to come on here and release a new single,
nice.
Or if you have an album you're working on, you want to talk about it before, in the middle, or after.
Yeah.
If you got some other collaborator that you want to bring with you, and sit down and talk about what you're doing, whatever.
You should bring Eric Evans.
Yeah, man. Eric's super talented, man. We'll definitely need to holler at him about it.
I'll see if
or
I can.
Ernie, whichever one. You want it both, right?
Yeah, I gotta get Ernie. I have not been. I've mentioned it to him, but I haven't been forceful about it. So I just need to grab him and drag him into the studio.
Yeah. It'll work.
And Eric, right? That's who we were talking about.
Yeah, Eric.
I'll see if I can get some little people in here for him.
All right, man.
Same guy, right? That's what we're talking about? Excellent. And that is the perfect way to end this show. Thank y'all for listening. We'll see you next week. All right. Big shout out, Octavio and Gionna. Thank you very, very much, not only for being on the show, but waiting to hear this episode get released. I was at Pouring Glory this weekend for that little event, and people are watching me knock out recording after recording after recording. And some of these were 30 minutes, some of them were 45 minutes. And I had people asking me, like, how are you planning on releasing these? You're already so far behind. I have a huge backlog of episodes. Whenever Octavio and Gionna sat down with me to do this recording, it was I don't remember. I think it was probably early April. It's been a minute. So anyway, we want to do better here. It's just life, and we're trying to stay ahead of it. Releasing an episode every Monday has been my goal for a very long time. But we have so many episodes now. We're going to have to start doing 2-3 episode releases every week. And I don't know how this happened, but it's quite the thing. So anyway, we're working on it, and we'd like to get to a point where you record with us and we release it the next Monday. I want to start doing recordings on Saturdays exclusively, and then turning around and kicking that thing out the door the following Monday. That would be great. I'm looking forward to that one day. We are also looking for a co-host. I want to get somebody else in here to help me run this thing. And we're talking about switching it up a bit, trying some different formatting ideas. What do I mean by that? There's some really good shows in the Fort Worth area, and you've heard me talk about all these amazing podcasters inside Fort Worth. They've got some great shows. I want to steal some of their ideas. I actually told Dustin Snyder a couple days ago that I want to end up on his list of people that steal things from their show. It's a very prestigious list. He's named off some very prestigious organizations that have stole things from his show, and I would like to be on that list. Namely, I just want to steal the idea of having topics, run through it, different stories that pop up, and whenever we have a guest on the show, turn them into the co-host, and just have a round robin. Anyway, have a conversation about things that have happened in the recent days over the past week, because we do release this weekly. Some of it would range from local Fort Worth stuff and all the way out to nationwide news and international stuff as well. I don't know. These are just ideas. So I'm recording at a new location tonight, and I forgot my notebook with all my details for my sponsors. So I am going to pipe in last week's sponsor reads. So it's going to sound very carbon copy, because it is. I don't know if you guys know this, but every single week, the intro and the outro is recorded right before it's released. Typically. Sometimes there's some debaucherous activity in there that requires me to steal from last week's episode in order to make the cut. We do what we can. I feel like there's a lot of things that I wanted to tell you. I did want to make sure that I harped on the fact that I am so very honored, pleased, and blown away by the support we got from the Pouring Glory event that we threw this past weekend. A lot of people showed up, and they didn't show up just to promote their stuff. I want to say half the people that came in didn't even record with me. In fact, I had people that didn't even want to take a picture next to the banner. So anyway, all I'm saying is they didn't come there for any other reason than to just support Fort Worth Roots Podcast or the Fort Worth podcast scene. So thank you. Thank you very much. It's not lost on me. You didn't have to do that. You've got 1,000 things going on, and you still showed up for me. Thank you. We didn't put any money or advertising dollars into this. I just wanted to see what we could do organically, and we had probably 40 people show up. So thank you very much. We're going to do these events periodically. The next big one, of course, is the September event, and we're going to use that to launch the 2024 music series. We've already got some exceptional bands that have given us kind of a handshake agreement. Doc Rock from the Traumatics. We've got the Jaybirds on the hook. Who else do we? Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations, of course. Late to the Station has agreed to do it. And Avery Burke. So some of my all-time favorites. Still got some phone calls to make. You know, there's a lot of bands inside the Fort Worth music community that I got a lot of love for. So we'll see how many we can put together. And we're going to grow this thing. We're going to do it year after year. And hopefully, you know, this is kind of the, what do you call that? The beta version of it, the test bed. Let's see how this goes. Try to learn some things. Take note of our successes and our failures. And build on that. And every year make it just a little bit better. Because we need to have more outlets for our local musicians to play on more stages. So this would be cool. That's the way we do it. And if you'd like to be a sponsor of the music series or the Fort Worth Roots podcast, that is an option. You can go to you can email me, media@fortworthroots.com, or you can DM us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I'm just done even faking that I care about Twitter. I just don't. I'm sorry. Not sorry. I got enough to keep up with. So Twitter's out. The other ones are in. And any other details you can just get straight from the show. Was that a question mark? I don't know. My voice is failing me. It was a long weekend. Okay. That's enough talking out of me. Real quick, I'm going to roll these ads from last week's episode. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I left my book at the studio. And I'm currently recording this 5,000 feet underground in a bunker at an undisclosed location. All right, that's it. Let's roll it. Here's our sponsors. A huge thank you to Michael Perez and Teresa Davis. Michael is with the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge, and Teresa Davis is with the Fort Worth Public Library, and she also heads up Amplify 817, which is another really interesting program put on by our city that I'm extremely excited about. We can't stop talking about Amplify 817 because they do a lot for our musicians. They do a lot for Fort Worth, and it's amazing that our city is standing behind our local creators. So why would you not want to support Amplify 817, a branch of the Fort Worth Library? Very cool stuff. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Teresa. This was an honor. Just to be included in something like this is a huge pat on the back. It's sincerely an honor. Thank you so much. I hope to do more with the Fort Worth Nature Center and the Fort Worth Library. You people are the best. Hope you all enjoyed that episode. Seriously, go out there and check this place out. I got in free that day because I was with the band, you know. I was working the background magic. So I got a chance to go out there and not have to pay nothing. So I wasn't paying attention to how much it cost. But it's not going to break the bank. It's definitely one of the cheapest things you can do with your kiddos this summer. And by many measures, maybe one of the most interesting things you can do. If you're watching the video on YouTube for this episode, I got a bunch of shots of the bison out there and some of the other things we're doing walking around there with Francisco and just kind of checking the place out. So if you want a sneak peek, you can go to the YouTube channel, Fort Worth Roots, and click on episode 146. And you'll see some video we took out there. But there's an easier way to do it if you're here in Fort Worth. Just travel up 199, and I don't know that the exit is marked for it. You can look it up on the internets, on the navigation, just Fort Worth Nature Center. But right as you get to Confederate Parkway, and I think that exit is marked off of 199, just north of town, before you get to Azle, on the right-hand side. So anyway, go check it out. Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge. Just lots of cool stuff out there. And watch out for the goat man. I'm going to try to see if you'll already know by now, but I'm going to contact Matthew Broyles and see if I can dub in his track. He has a whole song about the Lake Worth monster, so that would be cool. Anyway, lots of good stuff. Shout out to our sponsors, of course. I was talking about pouring glory in our event that we got coming up this weekend, this Saturday, June 24th, starting at 11 o'clock. Come on out. We're going to be podcasting, eating some good food, playing with the Fort Worth Humane Society doggos, and just making a whole day out of it. We'll be there from 11 to 8, so, you know, I'm just kind of busting this on you last minute, but you didn't have to plan for this. Yeah, I'll be there all day. You stop in for 5 minutes, or you can hang out with me all day, whatever you want to do. But the food's incredible if you haven't had that, and I'll be there, so what else do you need, really? Okay, Pouring Glory, 1001 Bryan Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas, just off of South Main Street and I-35, 1 block north of Rosedale. Pouring Glory is a growler refilling station that serves craft beer and award-winning food with live music. They do have live music all there. Excuse me. They do have live music there all the time. A little stage out there that Scott has been working on. There's going to be some shade attached to that thing now, which is excellent, especially in these summer months. For our musician friends, Denver Williams is out there quite a bit. I know I saw Joe Savage not too long ago. Man, I can't just list off all the musicians that have been out there. It's a lot, and it's multiple times a week. So check that out. Body Machine Fitness, still trying to get out there on a regular basis. I've been averaging kind of once a week. I need to up that game there. I do love going out there. It's just, man, my schedule, being an adult and stuff. The good thing about this place is I don't have to worry about keeping track of a workout routine or anything like that. They do it for me. So I walk in there. I've made the commitment. The hardest part is just getting there. And then the 45-minute class that is led by some incredible just beasts of humans. Does that make sense? Is that even a word? Amazing people that know what they're doing. And so they take charge. They tell you what to do. And whenever you leave, you feel accomplished. The next day you feel a little sore. But it's a good way to get in a very complete workout. Again, that's Body Machine Fitness. They're located at 2300 West 7th Street in Fort Worth. That's over there by Crumble Cookie and Buffalo Wild Wings in the Left Bank Shopping Center, I think is what it's called. They offer a truly one-of-a-kind fitness experience. Your first class has already been paid for. That's true. Go to bodymachinefitness.com to schedule your first high-energy cardio strength group fitness class with best-in-industry trainers, cutting-edge audio and lighting system. Show up early or stay after the class for the IR sauna and nutritious snacks in the lobby. And then after you're done taking care of your body, it's time to have fun. Let's head over to McFly's Pub. This place is pretty dope. It's Back to the Future theme place, and just like Pouring Glory, they've got live music all the time. They have an incredible outdoor area. These are on different sides of town, though. There's no competition here. Pouring Glory is over there on the other side of downtown, and then McFly's is over here by the military base. And you got to check both these places out. McFly's has cornhole and a disc golf basket with those putter discs out there so you can throw around. But just lots of space, very cool vibe, great people, and very interesting artwork all over the place by local muralists and just goodies that they've accumulated over the years hanging from the walls and on the shelves and stuff. It's a fun place. They got a pool table, darts. I think they have darts. I need to check on that. They got that little ring toss thingy. String hangs from the ceiling. Toss the ring, try to get it on the hook. It's a fun place. They got pinball too. Okay, McFly's. Go check that out. What else? Where are we at? Come on, Andrew, get it together. All right, woodpostmetalworks.com. Offer code podcast817 on checkout. We'll get you 10% off. They specialize in metal signs with or without LED backlighting, fence and gate repair or installation, light steel fabrication, industrial plasma coating, and more. They do a lot of stuff around town. If you've been driving through Fort Worth and seen any signs hanging off the front of these buildings, there's a pretty good chance these people made it. And they do really good work. And I just found out recently that they're probably one of the most reasonably priced places that you can get something like that. So check them out, woodpostmetalworks.com. Don't forget, use podcast817 at checkout. What is wrong with me today? Houkwalker Originals, go to houkwalker.com. They offer a huge variety of unique and personalized gifts. Also laser engraving to customize just about anything you can think of. You need something customized for the office or the home, laser engraving and whatnot, do it here. Don't you dare get it on Amazon or whatever. Let's keep Fort Worth dollars in Fort Worth pockets and show these people some love. Go check out what they got, houkwalker.com. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck. I mentioned this last episode. I was so it would have been last Sunday. I'm recording the outro for last week's episode, and I'm getting pictures from a very good friend of mine in Weatherford, and she's sending me these pictures, and these hailstones are not only huge, but they look angry. They got teeth on them, and so there is a pretty good chance that some people sustained some hail damage. I hope it wasn't you, but it doesn't matter if it was or not. You know it's probably time for a roofing tune-up. We talk about this on the show a lot. You get 50% off of a roofing tune-up. This is something that typically costs $500. You get a roofer up on your roof. He checks all your pipe jacks and makes sure that the sealant hasn't gotten sun damaged and flaked off. They replace that. And while they're up there, they're also looking for signs of damage that would result from these big, angry-looking hailstones that blew in from Weatherford. Thanks a lot, Weatherford. It's not their fault. I forgive you, Weatherford. Anyway, get that roofer up there, and like I said, typically it costs $500. Darren, since you are a listener of the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and Darren loves us, you get 50% off, so it's $250. Now, if he gets up there and he finds more damage than the roofing tune-up can fix, he'll just come off the roof. You don't owe him anything. He'll show you some pictures, tell you what the next step is, and you can go from there. Excuse me. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houck. You can find it at roofingsolutionsHouck.com, or you can give him a call, 817-882-6520. All right, what is left? We've done all the stuff, haven't we? No, we need to talk about Cowtown Nutrition. It's our newest sponsor. They're located over here in River Oaks at 5430 River Oaks Blvd. They offer a healthy alternative to that compulsory fast food craving that you might have. You can also load up on your favorite Herbalife products and learn about their fitness groups that they hold on location at Cowtown Nutrition. Get them on the Instagrams at Cowtown_nutrition and stop by and try this stuff out. We did an episode last week where April from Cowtown Nutrition is she's in it. She's featured in it. She met us out there at the River Oaks Springfest Car Show and did a recording with us, and then after that became a sponsor. So anyway, there's already some information on that. We are going to put out a standalone Cowtown Nutrition sponsorship episode with our friend April to learn a little bit more about that. And since she's a sponsor, she gets her own little sponsorship episode. We release those at different times than our Monday episode because it's a bonus. It's an extra. So anyway, go check it out. Good stuff. The thing that I meant to tell you, we were talking about in that episode is I did the Herbalife thing for a little bit, and after 2 weeks on that product, I'd done a before and after picture, and I'll go into more detail if you go listen to the episode. But anyway, we showed a friend, and the guy was like, well, these pictures don't look that different. You just look like you're flexing in this one. And I wasn't flexing. We were very specific about how we took the pictures. Same time of day, and the guy that was taking the pictures was coaching me on, like, how to do this. Like, okay, as soon as you get out of bed, no flexing, just let your body hang, and we'll take these pictures. So he took the first picture, and it's like, whatever. And then 2 weeks later, on this product, took another picture side by side. The 2 week later photo looked like I was flexing as hard as I could, and I wasn't. I was just standing there in my shorts. So anyway, it's a good product. I like it, and I like Cowtown Nutrition more than I like the product. These people are nice folk. If you listen to the show for a while, I'm always telling you I want to find sponsors that we get along with, people that we like, products that we can get behind. So they fit the mold. They were the right pick. So anyway, good deal. And you can go check them out if you're driving through the River Oaks area. You can either get a shake there or sign up and get the product delivered straight to your house. It's 5430 River Oaks Blvd, and you can get them on Instagram at Cowtown_nutrition. Good stuff. Okay, that's all the sponsors. All right, once again, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Octavio, Gionna, thank you so much for being on the show. Let's get you back in here next time y'all got something you're working on. And to all my homies out there, thank you so much for your support. This gets I don't want to call it monotonous, but it's a struggle, this whole podcast thing. But I do it to myself. So I don't get to complain. But I put this thing together all by myself. Every stage of the podcast, I'm doing it by myself. So whenever you guys show up to these events, it's a breath of fresh air. Whenever I get emails from you guys, it makes my day better. Whenever you guys send me a DM or invite me to one of your events, it makes me feel like I'm doing something right. So thank you for being there. Thank you for showing up to these events. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. All right. That's enough out of me. I will see you next week. Thank y'all for being here. Later.